Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. I want to make sure that we use everybody's time valuably, and I want to make sure that we stick to an hour or less as well. I know things are hectic, and especially this week, we're switching from our 10 a.m. time slot to a 12 noon lunch and learn. So the goal of the Wednesday trainings, just to give you some context compared to the Tuesday masterminds, Tuesday is more open to the public, not just agents in our network. And they're designed to really hone in on collaboration, cooperation, and production, really giving you the tools to motivate and inspire and transform your production in real estate. What we're talking about on Wednesdays is really trying to help you tap in and understand some aspect or some component about your relationship, your business as an eXp agent. So what we're going to talk about for the next 6 weeks, our topics are going to be laid out, and what we're going to really zone in on is leveraging eXp. And so what do I mean by that? Well, when our teams made the transition last year and moved from an independent brokerage, moved over into eXp, that was not about just what was beneficial to the broker owners. That was about what was beneficial to each individual agent. And certainly the change that we all experienced takes a lot of energy, right? It takes a lot of elbow grease in making that change, getting up to speed on some of the platforms. But now is a really good time to make sure that you are letting this model work for you, so that you take advantage of all of these different paths to build your financial wealth. Okay. The idea is that there are so many more ways to generate income in eXp than just through traditional real estate models. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today to kick it off is some certifications that you can receive as an eXp agent. There are 5 that we're going to go over today. And I'm just going to give you sort of a high-level overview of each of those, what they mean, how you can go about learning more, and what would be involved in actually getting that certification, how you go about pursuing it. Okay. From there, we're going to spend a couple of weeks talking about what platforms exist to you as an eXp agent where you can pay for lead generation. Okay, so we're going to talk about things like Making It Rain. We're going to talk about OpCity, talk about leveraging your KV Core account with some paid boosting. That'll all come in the next couple of weeks. After that, we're going to have a conversation about what it means to be an icon agent in the eXp model. For a lot of people, that is sort of a blurry concept that they don't really understand fully. Again, this is another opportunity for you to expand opportunity for wealth. And so we want to make sure that we cover that. And then finally, something that some agents are very excited about and others very much not, and that's agent attraction. So what we're going to address there is really, okay, I do want to have a conversation. Maybe I'm working in a transaction with a co-op agent and I want to share with them some of the exciting things happening for me in my real estate business, but how do I broach that subject? How do I articulate that? Give me some tools to help me frame that conversation, okay? Because maybe you're a little bit intimidated by that, and that's okay. We're going to address all that in the next 6 weeks. So let's get started. Today, like I said, we're really going to hone in on these certifications. And so the first one that I want to talk about, and let me just go back for a second because I want to make sure you know just exactly which ones we're going to cover. We're going to talk first about express offers, which I have referenced a little bit in the past when we've done some of our KV Core training, but I'm going to just remind everybody about express offers because this is sort of a really fast and easy way to expand your tool belt to be of assistance to your sellers. The next 2 kind of go hand in hand, primarily because they're managed by the same department at eXp, and that's Relocation and Reo Certifications. So we'll talk about both of those. We're going to talk about how to become a certified mentor with eXp, what that means and what that involves. And then the last one, which I bet maybe nobody's even heard about, is an opportunity to become a charitable real estate specialist. And when we get to that, I'll share a little bit more about what that means and why it might appeal to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into express offers first. What you want to understand about express offers is that It addresses a part of the real estate space that bypasses traditional vehicles. It's for institutional buyers. So you're talking about typically cash-rich organizations that are looking to invest in real estate, typically, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes taking properties in need of rehabilitation or renovation, investing in those properties, and then turning them around to sell them for a profit. Okay. I'm sure that you've seen other large entities like Zillow get into the institutional buying space. You also, if you're paying any attention, saw that Zillow promptly pulled out of that space last year because they've been experiencing some very significant losses. Part of what's driving their losses is that when you look at Zillow's program in particular, Zillow was the buyer in those transactions, okay? Just as Zillow is pulling out of this iBuying space, eXp has stepped into it. So this program is maybe around a year, 18 months old. It's designed to give you an option that you can present to your sellers. It's important that you understand that express offers is not going to be a fit for every seller you meet. But if you have a seller that needs a quick close, if you have a seller that is sort of desperate for cash and might be willing to compromise on price, if you have a property that you know is going to require a significant dollar investment to rehab or renovate it to make it ready for showings, and that's just not desirable, this could be an option. Or if you have, maybe you have a seller who's a hoarder, or because of COVID has absolute fear of opening their property to the public, and again would consider an alternative method to selling their home, bringing this property to the institutional buying space. So what has to happen is you need to become certified as an express offers agent to be able to make this option available to your seller client. You, as the eXp agent, are going to remain the trusted advisor. And you're going to see that theme as we go through each of these certifications. eXp is putting you in this platform in a position to be the facilitator of the transaction, okay? That you're still the trusted resource to help guide that seller to the best possible outcome. Perhaps this is just one tool in your tool belt. You might discuss it with the seller, ultimately determine that this is not the way that they want to go, but nonetheless, you've been able to demonstrate options and pathways to a sale for your seller, okay? From your standpoint as an agent, not only do you have the opportunity to earn commission on the initial list, whether you get a listing commission and close through express offers, or if you ultimately decide that you want to go the traditional route, you have an opportunity for commission there. If you do pursue your express offer certification, you have other opportunities to generate income as well. If you work with investors, particularly large company, like I said, very cash rich buyers in the iBuying space, you can introduce them to the express offers platform. And then anytime that they close a transaction through express offers, whether it be with you or any other eXp agent, you will receive a portion of the referral fee, the platform fee that they pay to close that transaction, okay? You also, if you bring your seller to this space, have the opportunity to potentially relist the property. A lot of the iBuyers that come into this space will commit up front to using you on the relist. So there's another opportunity to generate revenue for yourself. And then finally, don't forget your ability to secure a closing for this seller. Again, whether it's through express offers or otherwise, your ability to add value and get them to a successful conclusion of closing gives you the opportunity to then turn around and hopefully collect a future commission on their purchase down the road, whether that's right away or down the road. But again, the idea here is that you're building a client base and expanding your opportunities for revenue, okay? So where would you go to learn more about express offers? These are the places that I'm going to refer you. And at the end of our presentation today, I'm going to share this slide deck And then I'll also let people know if you are reviewing this at a later time, reviewing the video, I'll let you know how to request a copy of this slide deck by email. But the first place you want to go to get tapped into Express Offers is here in Workplace, to Express Offers Community. Once you join this group in Workplace, you'll be able to get more details on the program and also start to understand how the platform works. There's going to be a completely separate platform where you would log in to be able to review buyers and their needs to see if your seller's property might be a good fit. So you'll get training on all of that. And you'll also be able to get questions answered and hear from other agents in this Express Offer space about what their successes have been. There's a link here to eXp Life. eXp Life, Life at eXp is a really good resource in general. And I just want to show you this real quick because there's going to be a lot of information here, not just having to do with Express Offers. Here's a really fantastic article that gives you a lot of the background and context of why eXp entered this space and why it's different from other programs that it's competing with. So again, you'll have access to that link. The other thing that you'll be able to do, and I'll show you back on the slide as well, there's another website that you want to bookmark. This is eXp's knowledge base. This is a little known hidden gem of information. I'll reference this at least once or twice more with some of the other certifications, but you can get a lot of your questions answered about Express Offers as well. Within knowledge base, when you get to this Express Offers information page, it's also going to tell you right here, it's going to give you the link to go ahead and get started with your training. Okay, so what's involved in the training? Each of these programs is going to be a little bit different. So you want to make sure you know from the start what's going to be required of you. The great thing about Express Offers is that it's managed entirely through MindFlash. So once you go to that link and you click on it and you initiate the process to start the training, it's going to be entirely at your pace. MindFlash is something that you can log in and out of. So if you only have 20 minutes today, or maybe you're sitting in front of a football game this weekend and want to take advantage of 2 or 3 hours of your time, this could be a great thing to do at your pace. There's no cost to you to get this certification to, again, become that much more qualified and creditable to your sellers because you have yet another option for them in the real estate market. Expect about a 4 to 6 hour total commitment time-wise to get through the certification. As you get through certain benchmarks within that training process, you'll receive access to the Express Offers platform. And then once you fully complete the training, you'll receive access to additional marketing materials that you can then leverage in all of your print, your social media marketing, your other digital marketing, to be able to let the world know that you're an Express Offers agent. Okay, so that's Express Offers in a nutshell. Again, if you want to learn more, I really encourage you, go to Workplace, to that group that I mentioned, and take a look at those 2 sites. And those links will be available to you at the end. Now let's talk about the next 2 programs a little bit in tandem. Those are going to be Relocation and Reo. These 2 are relatively new in eXp space. They are both managed by the same department, the Relo and Affinity Business Department within eXp. Initially, I think Reo was rolled out first, Reo being the bank-owned space, right? Working with banks and other financial institutions who have foreclosure assets on their books that they're looking to sell. But then because of everything that's happened with COVID and with the moratorium on foreclosures, we sort of saw eXp pull back a little bit and really concentrate more on relocation. Relocation has sort of been gaining relevance in the COVID market that we're in because of the fact that so many more people are moving and recognizing that business doesn't have to be done in the same places, in the same physical places where it might have been done in the past. The idea with relocation and becoming a relocation certified specialist is, again, let me emphasize that eXp wants you to be the trusted advisor in a relo transaction. eXp is working to build a relationship at a brokerage level to partner with large corporations, to partner with relocation agencies, government agencies, to be able to secure a pipeline of relocation business. So these are clients that either need to move within the country or potentially in or out of the country internationally. And so they're going to come to eXp, and then the Relo department within eXp is going to look to match up individual buyers or sellers in a relocation experience with a certified agent in our eXp network. So depending on whether they have a need to buy or sell, if you're certified, then you're going to be on that short list of agents that the Relo department will work with. Okay. The important thing to understand is that this is a relatively new program, so don't expect in this case to go through the certification and a light switch is going to flip and then all of a sudden you're just going to be bombarded with leads. This continues to build and grow. The idea, though, is with this and with Reo is to make sure that you're in a position that as these relationships develop with eXp at a broad level, that you're in a position to immediately be receiving this business as opposed to playing catch up, trying to get certified, okay? Just like Express Offers has its own unique platform, once you're certified and you gain access to it, relocation is gonna work the same way. They have their own platform called eRelocation, where you would have access to leads to be able to accept them, monitor them, work through them, and process them forward to closing, all on that platform. Okay, so if you wanted to learn more about the relocation department, this is where you want to go. First, I always point people to Workplace because it's such a wealth of information and also good opportunity to network with other agents who might be new to the program, but who also might have experience in the program as well. So this is the name of the group that you would go to in Workplace. You'll just want to ask to join that group. And typically within an hour or two, you'll receive notification that you've been accepted. Just a reminder that it's a new program. So don't expect the leads to come flooding in, but again, position yourself for what can happen tomorrow. Don't find yourself playing catch up. What's involved in getting certified? This is going to work a little bit different than Express Offers. What I love about Express Offers that it's entirely driven by your time and your convenience. Relocation is a little bit different. You do have to participate in-person training, and it's all done through eXp World, okay? Typically, there are 4 modules, and they generally seem to be running about every 60 days. Now, you'll notice that they've just kicked off another round of these 4 modules the beginning of January, and actually module 2 looks like it's in progress even now as we speak. The good thing is that if this is something that appeals to you, you can jump in for modules 3 and 4 now and get credit for those modules now and come back later and take 1 and 2 when they become available next go around. They don't have to be taken in a specific order. You also don't have to pre-register. All you have to do is show up on the date and time that it's scheduled in eXp World, and you'll get credit for that module. Once you start the process and participate in any one of these 4 modules, that attendance should be logged in MindFlash. So this link here, the same place where you could go and match your progress on Express Offers, is where you would go and track your progress on getting certified in relocation. If you don't see your attendance there, then I'm going to refer you back to Workplace to make sure that you get that worked out. Once all of your modules are complete, then you should have access to the eRelocation platform and be ready to start receiving leads. Okay? In tandem with that, let's talk a little bit about the Reo Certified Specialist. So as I mentioned, when we started talking about relocation, eXp pulled back a little bit on the Reo rollout in an effort to really sort of go all guns blazing on relocation, given the circumstance of the market. But as we get closer to the end of the year in 2022, right now the moratorium on foreclosure has been extended until I believe October. But it's very likely that once we get past election season this November, that we may be looking at that lifting. And again, if this is anything that's of interest to you, now is the time to act to get certified and to understand exactly what you can do in the REO space as an eXp agent. Again, leveraging eXp, putting you in a position to now be a trusted advisor to banks, to building relationships with banks and financial institutions, and leveraging what eXp has built into their platform to make this type of business work for you. Traditionally, REO agents who concentrate in the REO space have needed a large sort of cash reserve to be able to go and front money for either property management, minor repairs, maintenance issues, and so forth. I've seen very common where an agent could have $40,000 to $50,000 or more out on the street in repairs, waiting to get reimbursed by the banks that they're servicing. So what you want to be able to do is go through this certification, get some of the training, and understand what eXp can offer you to help break you into this business without it breaking your bank personally, okay? Again, this is really new, so there's not a whole lot of information that's available because they're just really ramping up now to anticipate what's ahead for us as foreclosures start up again. But again, there's no cost to you in achieving any of these certifications dollar-wise. You're just talking about your time commitment. So if you wanted to learn more, I'm going to refer you to Workplace. The first place that you want to go is to Reo Mastermind. This is the official group that talks all things REO. Same people that are managing the relocation group are managing this one. But again, this is the REO space. If you wanted to learn more about what eXp offers, if you have familiarity or experience with REO and aren't sure that you want to pursue it again as things open up as an eXp agent, feel free. There's an email address that you can reference here. Send an email and ask for more information if you don't want to go through Workplace. Again, just want to emphasize that this is another new program. It's not like anybody's flipping a switch and going to immediately have leads flowing in, but preparing today to be ready for tomorrow. In terms of training, just like what we talked about with relocation, going to be very similar with REO. You do have to attend in-person training. Previously, there were modules, and the good thing about REO is that they continue to make improvements here. In the beginning, I think there were 7 or 8 modules that you had to complete. They've condensed that down to 4 modules that you need to complete in person in eXp World. But then even developing further from there, they've created a fast track certification. And you'll see that they had a session at the very beginning of January. There are 2 sessions, so it's total of about 6 hours of your time if you choose fast track. They're talking about having another session available again, either February or March. But there's also some conversation about you being able to go back, just like with express offers, being able to go back and view these on your own pace to get certified as well. So if you have any interest at all in learning more about REO, I encourage you go right to Workplace, join this group to get more information and get tapped in onto what the requirements will be training-wise, and especially as they evolve and change over the next 30 to 60 days. If it's, again, something you can do on your time, why not leverage that? Okay. The other thing is that you don't have to take these modules in order. So if you can catch the second one and then go back and do the first one, just like relocation, all of that should be monitored for you and your attendance maintained in MindFlash. So you'll be able to see once you've gotten credit for all the modules or all the training that you're ready to secure your certification. Okay. The next one that I want to talk about is mentorship. Mentorship can be another great opportunity for you to earn additional income. We're talking about commission income, but not on your own production, It's on the production of a new agent, brand new to real estate, who's going to need some guidance, some hand-holding, and some education from you as their mentor. Again, this is another certification where eXp is looking to put you as the agent in a position of trust. So where the other programs were really about being able to cater to a particular segment of the real estate industry, sellers, bank-owned, buyers and sellers in the relo space. What we're talking about with mentorship is serving a need within the real estate community, within the professionals community. Somebody brand new can benefit from your experience. If you enjoy teaching, if maybe you secretly always had a passion to be a kindergarten teacher or teach a college course or something, there could be an opportunity here for you to leverage a passion or an interest, all while being able to leverage your knowledge and background in real estate. You can do this in a couple of different ways. Once you get certified, and I'll explain how to do that in a minute, but once you get your certification, you can be matched up with an agent who comes into eXp brand new. So let's say I'm brand new, I've never closed any transactions before. I complete the Join app, and it has nothing to do with my sponsor. My sponsor does not have to be involved in the mentor assignment at all. But once I come in and identify myself as a brand new agent, eXp will automatically determine if I should be paired up with a mentor. If I'm coming in on a mega team, then typically the mega team allows that person to opt out of assigned mentorship. But if that doesn't qualify me to opt out, then I'm going to be paired up with a mentor. And the basis for that is going to be my primary MLS. So whatever I identify as my MLS at the time of my application, we'll take a look at where you are as a certified mentor, and that's the initial criteria for how you get paired up with a brand new agent. Okay. The other thing that you can do is, just like you see agents within eXp that market their expertise, whether it has to do with a particular segment of the market, or maybe they market themselves as certified coaches or real estate coaches, right? Or trainers or buyer's agents, whatever the case may be, you can market yourself on your social media as a certified mentor. And it could be another way that you can attract and bring in brand new agents to the eXp model. So imagine you having the opportunity to not only sponsor an agent brand new to real estate, so you're going to sponsor them in, but then you have the opportunity to mentor them, to train them, teach them, and get their first few closings under their belt and earn some commission for your time and effort in doing that. Okay.
Hey, Deanna.
Hi, Jean.
Hey, quick question. So, if somebody does become a mentor, with eXp, this happened a few times where, they're mentors, but then they're getting people that are already, they signed up in eXp with somebody else, in some random place, just because they kind of didn't know that, it's also important, I think, to, join, with the right sponsor, because, you're joining a certain, group or a network. I guess my question is, if any of our agents, if they become certified mentors, do you know of any places that, that they can actually, market that or promote that they are, let's say, a certified mentor with eXp? That way, maybe they can actually get an agent that would join eXp, not only, use them as a mentor, but also, use them as their sponsoring agent.
Sure. So I definitely, and we can certainly incorporate this too when we talk a little bit more about agent attraction in the coming weeks. But absolutely, once you're certified, you can market that on any of your social media, put it on your business card, and let agents know that you offer that service. And also, don't just target brand new agents to the business directly, but also consider other agents that you may be talking to about eXp who know somebody brand new to the business, who maybe is out there trying to compare apples to apples between this brokerage and other brokerages and what the mentorship program looks like. One of the things that I really like from a team standpoint is that you have the ability, when you're on a mega team, like we all are, to have a little bit more flexibility to offer that brand new agent some options when they come into eXp, where if they went into another brokerage, they wouldn't have that ability. So, and we can talk a little bit more about this offline for anybody who specifically wants to leverage being part of the team that you're on and you really want to pursue mentorship. But the idea is if I were to go to say, and just as an example, say go to a KW office, then I would automatically have to pay a certain percentage into the office for the cap, a certain percentage into the mentor, and there would be no negotiation on that. But the fact that we're part of mega teams, it gives you the opportunity to leverage some of that breadth and depth and offer a little bit maybe of a unique and traditional, non-traditional package where you can work with those percentages a little bit. If you do the traditional route where you're not bringing an agent onto the team to be a part of the team, which you can absolutely do, then it would be a standard 10% that you would receive on anything that the agent closes while they're in the mentorship program. The idea is that your participation, along with them being involved in trainings, both at the state and at the corporate level, gets them to the point where they graduate from the program and then become independent and move on their own. But you can absolutely, to Jean's point, leverage that certification in your social media. As with all of these certifications, if you pursue them and receive them, you should absolutely be, again, exploiting it. You're leveraging eXp to just demonstrate to the marketplace all that you can offer, both now from a client standpoint and from a real estate professional standpoint. There's
Awesome.
a lot of information that you can get from the knowledge base where I showed you before, but here's the link that you'll be able to utilize again. All you have to do is search mentor and you're going to get a ton of information. So I want to just take a quick look and show you that as well. So here, if I'm back at the knowledge base, this little gem of a resource, if I just type in the word mentor, you're going to see a number of articles that you can tap into if you wanted to understand more about what the mentor program is, if you wanted to understand what was involved in getting certified, if you wanted to understand what happens if a mentee, if a new agent comes in and wants to request you, or maybe you have somebody that comes to you and says, it's just not working out with my current mentor, and I've heard a lot of good things about you, or I've gotten to know you through workplace or Facebook, or or maybe we work together on a transaction and I really think I could benefit from your mentorship. I'd like to change and identify you as my mentor. That's something that can happen in the eXp space. But a lot of your questions can get answered here. So again, this is just one more opportunity for you to grow your revenue with eXp. Okay.
Is there any fee to get your certificate?
There's no fee to receive your certification. That's a good question, Sarah.
Thank you.
So let me show you. Now, mentorship is going to work. We go back to the beginning with express offers. What was so great about that is that it's all done on your time, at your convenience. Mentorship is going to work the same way. So what you'll want to do, there's going to be a link in the slide deck where you can go and first apply to become a mentor. This is going to be a little bit different than the other programs because the broker's office at each state level is going to review your application. They're going to review your experience and your background, your credentials, to determine if you are an approved mentorship applicant. Once you are approved, you'll receive notification of that, and then you begin the training at your pace. The training is all managed through MindFlash. So once you get to that point, if you have 20 minutes to participate today and then maybe another hour here or there, you just go in and participate what you can when you can. The more dedicated and focused you are on finishing, the faster you get certified. But there are 10 modules. Depending on how efficient you are, you're looking at about 7 to 10 hours of your time total to complete all those modules. And then it takes maybe 10 days to 2 weeks to get your formal certification once you complete that training. Okay. Again, no cost to you. So if this is something that appeals to you, understand that there are requirements on your end. It's not as simple as just getting certified, being able to market it, and then have someone identify you. There are expectations that are managed within every broker's office that you as a mentor have to deliver on. A certain time commitment, a certain, you have to meet with mentees, and that's all outlined in that knowledge base that I referred you to before if you want to understand more. Okay, so let's get to the last platform, and this is probably one that none of you have heard about before in the eXp space, right? This is a charitable real estate specialist. What I'll tell you about this one that's different from the other four that we talked about is that this particular certification is not managed directly by eXp, okay? So all the other platforms that we talked about, those are all handled in-house. They're all the training, everything is all managed from within eXp's corporate structure, and the certifications are all issued by eXp. A charitable real estate specialist certification, this is through an eXp trusted partner. Real Agents of Change is the name of the trusted partner. I actually had the opportunity to meet the liaison. Her name is Cami, and I'll share her information with you in just a moment. But I had the opportunity to meet her last summer. And what I really think is exciting about this program is that, so we've talked about, if you have the desire to be able to offer sellers in difficult or distressed situations a solution. We talked about being able to assist the relocation industry or the REO market, being able to bring value there. We even talked about, what if education inspires you? But what if what inspires you is community, and that you're looking for an opportunity in your real estate business to connect community and charity and donation of your time, efforts, and energy, and you want to pair that up with your real estate business. This could be a really interesting way, vehicle to do that. Again, I emphasize, just as I did with the other platforms, that eXp is looking to put you in a position of trust and expertise. So what is a charitable real estate specialist? Apparently, there is a huge market or there's certainly tremendous tax opportunity for sellers wanting to donate property. So for property owners wanting to donate their real estate to nonprofits. But the problem is the seller doesn't want to go through the so-called hassle of selling the property and donating the cash. They just want to donate the asset. The nonprofit, on the other hand, is going to have an expertise in most likely anything but real estate. So, whether it's involving animals or, providing food to the hungry or, a child-based charity. Those charities don't have expertise in real estate. And while they would be excited and over the moon to be able to receive a $300,000, $400,000, or $500,000 real estate asset, they're not equipped to be able to handle the responsibility that comes with managing that asset and then getting that asset ultimately off their books and converted to cash. So you have a seller wanting to be able to donate, and you have a charity wanting the cash to be able to receive that donation and put it to work. What this designation, what this certification will do is bridge that gap for you. Okay, so Cami Baker is the person who, on the eXp side, is the expert on this program. I encourage you, if you want to learn more, you want to go to Workplace and you want to find Cami. Okay, you can find her in Work Chat, and you can also find her on Facebook under the Real Agents of Change. That's what you want to search. Again, I mentioned that this program is not managed by eXp directly. There is a certification class that Cami can help tie you into. You can take that class either live in real time, or you can take it at your own pace, like on a pre-recorded session, like a couple of the other certifications that we talked about today. But then once you become certified, you open yourself up as an eXp agent who can receive access to bridge the gap between exactly what we talked about. Property owners looking to donate their real estate and charities looking to receive cash for that donation. And when you come into this space, and Cami is really particular about making sure that the agents understand this, you are not discounting your commission. Your role in this process is the same from a value standpoint as it would be in any other traditional real estate process. But the goal here is just, again, taking two groups of individuals that both ultimately have the same goal, but don't necessarily have the skill sets, right, and the expertise to be able to make it all come together. So if this is something that appeals to you, I really encourage you to go find Cami on WorkChat, find her in Workplace, and then go to the Real Agents of Change on Facebook, traditional Facebook, and join the group to get more information. Okay. And what I love about this, this is one of my particular favorites from Cami. You know, she talks about you might be in the space of making money and wanting to make a difference, but what if you can do them both at the same time? Make money and make a difference. So this could be a great certification for you if that concept is appealing. Okay, if you really want to tap into something that you feel is voluntary and giving back time to your community and to maybe a platform that's important to you. Okay. So does anybody have any questions so far on the platforms that we've covered?
Diana, this was very informative.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so, Sarah.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you for making the time to teach it to us.
Oh, sure. Of course. Again, it's all about just making sure that little by little, you're getting tapped into all of these resources that are available to you as an eXp agent. We don't want to lose sight, and just sometimes you get so caught up in production that we forget that there are all these other great opportunities for you to start to branch out in wealth. Okay. So, and I appreciate that comment, Jean. Thank you. What I do want to remind everybody is that in just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and drop the slide deck into the chat, but I will also have this video available on our YouTube channel. The link to that channel will be here. If you are in a position where you're viewing this on replay, you can go ahead and email me to get a copy of the slide deck as well. And the last thing I just want to remind everybody is don't forget about the Tuesday Masterminds at 11 a.m. What's great about the Wednesdays is if you can't attend in person, you can still go back, even if it's while you're preparing dinner, or, you know, just get some of that information back right through the video replay. But those Tuesday Masterminds, you really want to tap in, because the greatest value from those is about being there live and experiencing the collaboration that's happening in the moment.